Howdy shipmates, it's Captain Dan here. Welcome to Story Time with Captain Dan. A time to tell tales old and new for young and old. A time to lift our spirits in these difficult times. Please keep sending your stories and requests in. I like to read them out and I like new tales. We need new tales to tell because I'll run out soon, you know. So please send them in if you can and I'll give you a good shout out. Now let's see what today's tale is, eh? Shall we see? Well, I see it's a Blackberry Farm tale. It's called Hide and Seek at Blackberry Farm. Let's have a look at this one. By Jane Pilgrim. Hide and Seek at Blackberry Farm. Lucy and Marcus Mouse had two very fine children called Len and Sid, and they all lived very happily down a hole in the corner of the big barn at Blackberry Farm. There you see their little house. Very nice, a gentleman, don't you think? But one day Lucy Mouse was very alarmed to see George the kitten playing in the barn. "Go away, George," she cried. "You will frighten my babies. Go away and play somewhere else." And she shook her broom at him. Now Lucy Mouse was pretending that she was very brave, for she was really frightened of cats. "He's a nice cat as cats go," she said to Marcus, "but one day he might forget and be a little rough with our babies." And Marcus Mouse agreed with Lucy. Len and Sid were good little mice, but they did think it was more fun to play all over the barn and not just in their own little corner. So when their mother was busy, they scampered off to play in the straw right at the other side of the barn. Trouble, I think. They ran up to the top of the pile of straw and peeped over the edge. Can you see them? There asleep in the sunshine was George the kitten. He looked very gentle and very soft and not bad at all. Len and Sid slid carefully down until they were so close that they could almost touch him. The straw creaked. George's whiskers twitched. Len and Sid jumped back and looked again. George opened one eye, and then he opened the other eye. He saw the two little mice. "Boo!" he said. "I'm coming to play with you." Just woke up Charlie the dog then. She just jumped at my boom. But Len and Sid thought it was time to go home, so they scampered up to the top of the straw and down to the other side and across the barn and hid in an old wheelbarrow. And George went up over the straw and down the other side and across the barn, and when he came to the old wheelbarrow, he could not see Len and Sid anywhere. "Meow," he called. "Come and play with me." But Len and Sid kept very still inside the old wheelbarrow. There you can see the cat there, the kitten. George. When they thought that George would not notice, they nipped out of the barrow and hid behind a large bucket full of water. But George had seen their tails flash, and as they ran he jumped high in the air and after them. "Now I will catch you them," he thought, and he called out, "Look out, Len and Sid, I'm coming to catch you." That's how kittens speak, you know. Did you not know that? But it was a longer jump than George had thought, and poor George, instead of landing on top of the little mice, he landed splash in a bucket full of water, and kittens don't like water. And Len and Sid sat back and laughed until their whiskers ached. There you can see them laughing. Then they ran home to tea and told Lucy and Marcus Mouse all about the chase, and Lucy and Marcus scolded them and told them that they were very lucky not to have been caught by George and that they must never go over to the other side of the barn again. And poor wet George had to dry himself in front of the kitchen fire, and no one could understand how he'd managed to get so wet, because it was a very sunshiny day at Blackberry Farm. And George thought it was better not to tell anyone what had happened. And so he didn't. Sounds like a fun day at Blackberry Farm, don't you think? So that's Hide and Seek at Blackberry Farm. A lovely tale by Jane Pilgrim. But that's your lot from Captain Dan today. I do hope you enjoyed it. Please keep sending in your ideas and your thoughts and your shout outs, and I'll keep reading these tales to keep our spirits up. But that's enough for today. So I'm going to wish you a good night. Is that okay? And how does it go? You know. Good night, oh sweet repose. Don't lie on your belly, because you might just squash your nose. Good night.